Hi there everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Joesephyr if you've not been here before, and I'm here today to share my story of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius and various different phone games and things like that with all of you for multiple reasons, and I'll go over why to begin with. I was inspired by a Reddit post that I saw a couple of months ago, which I'll leave a link to in the description box below, as well as my own one, that both of which got an amazing response from, and I would love for you guys to read these because they're amazing. But I'm going to tell my story as well through this video because I want all of my subscribers to kind of know where I come from when it comes to these things, and hopefully by telling you guys these stories I want to inspire people who have had very similar experiences to me to show that they can kind of overcome some kind of bad experiences and things like that and still be able to enjoy these games at the other end. And I love Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I'd like to just quickly go out and say, and I've been playing the other ones as well. I've been playing Record Keeper, Mobius, Fire Emblem Heroes, and I'm still continuing to play them all. But I've seen a lot of people who have these problems that say, just delete your account, do this, that and the other. You don't, if it's bringing you down, you're spending all this money and it's really, really affecting you, then you need to do something about it. And you're right, but I want to show people that you can do it in a different way and you can flip these things around. So I want to be making Final Fantasy Brave Exvius videos in the future. God, that's hard to say sometimes. So that I can show that, you don't have to only spend fortunes in order to be able to provide entertaining content for other people. So stay tuned if you want to hear my story and my plans for what I want to do with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius from here on out. So I'm going to start straight from the beginning, basically. I started playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius about a year ago, to the day, just after Noctis and Ace had come out. And a friend of mine had come and started playing it and told me about it, and I thought, you know what, I've never played a game like that before on my phone or anything like that, so I'll give it a go. And I ended up really enjoying it, and I really did. And I played, free to play, and I ended up joining the online communities because I had no idea what I was doing, and everyone was like really accommodating and like really, really friendly and stuff like that. And obviously, I mean, I've come from so many gaming communities which have been really elitist and really difficult to get into, clicky, that this one really took me by surprise. So I was like, oh, I really like this. And I got into it and I ended up learning about re-rolling, and I had to use an alternate Facebook account in order to make that, which I do actually use nowadays. I use it for my professional work. And then I re-rolled for about a week, and then I ended up settling on a Dark Fina. So I apologise if anyone who's never played Brave Exvius is watching this video and wondering, what is he talking about? But Dark Fina is basically a character that was quite good at the time and was never amazing, and nowadays nobody uses her. And the first time I ever got like a rainbow crystal, which you can see just here, is kind of, the first thing, the 5-star units of what everybody wants. And the first time I ever got one of these was actually during the Secret of Mana event, and I got Randy from it, who at the time turned out to be horrendously bad, and I was really, really upset. So I was like, I got so excited over getting it, and it turned out it was terrible. But being part of the online community and not knowing an awful lot about the game at the time, I kind of learned about Orlando. And everyone said that Orlando was going to be like the dog's bollocks. Everyone has to have Orlando. He's the best character in the game. Everyone is. And I actually quite like FF Tactics anyway. So I thought, oh, it's something to get really excited for. And I saved up all of my tickets that you use to summon characters and stuff like that. And bear in mind that at the time, the chance of a rainbow crystal coming down from a summon ticket or anything like that is 1%. So it's not likely, and it's a 50% chance that you'll get the character that you're after as well, or a character that's on the banner that you're after. I spent loads of my tickets, and I did actually get an Orlando. And I remember I was in bed at the time. I woke up and I was literally pressing all these buttons, and I saw the little rainbow crystal come down, and honestly my heart stopped for a second. I had not had that kid at Christmas feeling since I was a kid. Like, as an adult, I'm very, very go. I find it quite difficult to just chill out and relax and be excited and be that kind of kid for a little while. So that was a really big thing for me. Press the button, it cracks open, it explodes, and there was my Orlando. And I literally jumped out of my bed, fist pumping the air. And I do not do that. That is just not a thing that I do. I was so excited. And then that feeling just stuck with me, and it was an incredible feeling, and obviously I wanted to have it again, but I wasn't prepared to spend money. But then we come to the next part of my story, where I was actually flying off to America, which I may or may not be in America actually at the moment by the time this video is posted. But last time I went to America was last April, and I flew out and my flight went horribly, horribly wrong. It was 4 hours delayed. I had to have a layover in New York before I got to Las Vegas, which is where I was staying. And I ended up, they lost my luggage as well, so and I've never had that kind of experience before. So I'm sitting in this hotel in New York, which isn't very nice, and I've got none of my stuff. I'm absolutely beside myself. I'm terrified because I've never had that happen to me before, and the only thing I had on me was my phone and the hotel's Wi-Fi. So I went on there, and Amazon coins are a way that you make the game cheaper for yourself, because you can kind of get discounted rates and stuff like that, and I'd learned about that over the course of the time. And I sat there and I used the rest of my tickets on something, I don't even remember what it was at this point, and I ended up not getting anything. And I still felt horrible, I still felt frightened, I still didn't like it. So I ended up using money, and I honestly, I think I must have spent about £350 that day, which again, I mean, this video is actually quite difficult for me to film, I'm not going to lie, because it's something that's very, very raw, and it's quite embarrassing, and I am quite ashamed of myself when it comes to this, so do bear with me. And I must have spent about £350 at least trying to just replicate that feeling that I got by pulling Orlando. And then while I was in America, I was fine, because spending invisible money is very, very easy, because you're not giving somebody cash, you're not actually putting your card out and doing anything, you're just going, yes, give me stuff. And it's so easy to fall into that trap. But you can spend money on these games, so I'm not shaming anybody that does, and there are people there that have the disposable income to do that, and I think it's amazing. But I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. While I was sitting there going, oh, I spent this money, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. As I was in America, I ended up sitting down and I jumped on the stream for somebody who I followed online. Clay Guzalt, by the way, who is a lovely guy, and I would very highly recommend that you follow his channel as well, if you haven't already. If you play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, he's an extremely good YouTuber for it. And I was like kind of in his chat for Twitch, and then he recognised me from doing the Final Fantasy TCG videos. And he's done extremely well with the game. He does amazing things. So I kind of like ended up talking to him, and that was really, really fun. And then I ended up adding him as a friend on the game and stuff like that. And obviously, because his stuff is so amazing and stuff like that, I thought, oh, I want to keep up with that. I think that would be amazing. So I'm sitting there spending more money, and from this point onwards, every single week for months, I must have put money into that game at least once. Every banner I had to put on it. Every time I didn't get anything, I'd be distraught. I actually don't know how much money I spent in that game on total, because it was just a blur at this point. The next one that kind of hit me was like when I realised I was kind of developing a problem was when Tidus came out. I actually did get Tidus very, very quickly. I think I'm in like 3 or 4 of the summon tickets, which is crazy good luck. But I had to have another one. So I kept going, and I had to have another one, and I kept going, and then I sat there and I was like, I didn't even stop. And I found myself lying to people about what I was doing and spending money that I probably didn't even have at the time. Like again, this is very shameful, and I'm trying to be very honest, because I want people to learn these stories, because I think you find that there are so many people online that brag about all these amazing things that they have, and they don't tell you how they got them. Like, you go online and you get these feeling, because of the way these games work, it is quite dangerous. And actually, I don't want to blame the games. I don't blame the game itself. It's a free-to-play game, and it has to earn its money, and it does so very, very well. It's got that to a T. But human nature has a tendency, and I definitely am very guilty of this, is of jealousy. And I sit there, and whenever I'd made a little community at this point of people that were playing this game, and it was really, really, really great fun. But internally, every time someone I knew, including my boyfriend, pulled something really good that I didn't have, I would get really jealous and resentful, and that's really wrong. So I ended up spending more money to try and match it. And it's ridiculous, and I just kept going. And the one that broke me was the Nier Automata banner and the Veritas banner, which for anyone who plays Brave Exvius that's watching this, were very, very hyped banners. Like, everybody wanted to have Veritas in the Dark, everybody wanted to have 2B and A2, and as a fan of Nier Automata, I'd saved up so much for it. And there was one of the first times I'd ever streamed, because I thought, oh, I really like this game and I'd like to try and stream it. And I sat there and I streamed my pulls on the Nier banner, and I got literally nothing. Like, to the point where I must have saved up 150 tickets, used all of them, got nothing. Started doing my 11 pulls, still getting nothing. And at that time I started feeling really embarrassed and nervous, and I just stopped enjoying doing it, and I stopped doing that stream pretty much immediately, and it put me off doing streaming for quite a while. I'm now getting back into it. I do my drawings, I do my FFTCG stuff, and but I'm now trying to get back into doing the streaming stuff with Dissidia, and I am going to be doing Brave Exvius again, but I'm going to be doing it very differently, as I'll explain at the end of the video. I literally turned the stream off and I broke down. I just burst into tears. I looked a complete mess. I'd realised I'd spent an incredulous amount of money. My boyfriend got in the door and I told him everything. And that's part of the point of what I wanted to say, because part of the reason I'm making this video is because I'm sure I'm not the only person that is in this situation or has been in this situation. And the first thing I would tell you to do is tell somebody. It's embarrassing, it's difficult. If you've spent all this money and literally thrown it into a digital fire, it is embarrassing, you feel silly, but you keep doing it, and you're never going to break out of it unless you start talking about it to somebody. If you're in this situation, feel free to send me a message if you want to, through Facebook or Twitter. My social media links are in the description box. Please send me a message if you feel that need, because I think that it's so important to talk to somebody, because I think that it should be treated like any other kind of gambling addiction, because that's what it is. Being blunt, that is exactly what it is. It's just you don't actually earn money at the end of it. You earn characters in a video game. And then from that point I was like, I don't want this anymore. I'm done. I can't deal with this. I stopped playing for a while, but then I ended up being really sad about the fact that I wasn't playing anymore. And I do still really enjoy the game. And I still enjoy it to this day, a year later, despite the fact that I've gone through all that. You know, I have relapsed once or twice, like Ayaka, who was like a broken healer. I pulled for her, and I did get her, and you know, I didn't go crazy, I didn't spend loads of money, but you know, that feeling was still there. And had loads of people I got, like, you know, knew got it, I may have ended up feeling guilty and jealous and silly, and then maybe would have done something stupid, but luckily I didn't. And I think the thing I'm trying to get at is that it's just that your honesty will help. If you're in this situation, honesty will help you so much. You would not believe, because I have had some amazing support from people, including some of my very subscribers on this channel. So for those of you that talk to me on a regular basis and watch these, I'm so thankful for you, honestly. And my partner has helped me a great deal. You know, my friends and family have done the same thing. And it's like, you know, just be honest. It's so important. And because of that, what I'm planning on doing with this channel, in order to incorporate Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, is I want to carry on playing the game, but I want to do it where you're free to play now. Like, I mean, it was showing self-control. There are some bundles and stuff that I'm sure you could spend money on, and I'll do little kind of like reviews on those where I say, yes, it's worth you spending money on that. It's okay for you to spend money on that, but don't obviously go too far off the deep end and buy every single one. The other thing that I want to do with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is to set up some of the units that I've earned in the game, which are, I have some of the strongest units in the game, and that's not a bragging point because I've spent an awful lot to get it, and it's probably done a lot of damage to me in its own way. But I want to use that to benefit the community for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, much in the same way that community benefited me by being so accommodating when I started playing, and honestly being part of the reason I got so into the game in the first place. I want to set up friend units that people can use to solo some of the harder trials in the game that perhaps when they're starting it they may not be able to get it, because you get some really good rewards for doing those that help you get into the game. And then I want to kind of show that I want to experiment, actually. I want to see how long what I have now will last me. And I'm fairly sure it's going to last a long time, and that's a really, really great thing. And, you know, you can call me a whale, you can call me this, that, and the other, and it's fine, I understand that. But what I want to do is I want to turn that around and use it to benefit the community at large. So I'll be producing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius videos on like a should you pull from my perspective on a banner, whether you think so or not, because not only will it help you, it will help me. Because if I sit there and I tell everybody, no, I don't think you should pull on this banner, and then I go and do it myself, that's going to look really stupid. So by doing it publicly, and it's going to help me, and I feel that what I will bring to it will hopefully help a lot of other players as well. So that's pretty much the end of my story when it comes to whaling. I think that, you know, it's as I said, it's very raw and it's very real, and that's what I want to be with you guys, is I want to be real. It's not pleasant. I want to show people that these games, and as I said, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is not the only game that I play. I play Record Keeper, I play Mobius, and I play Fire Emblem Heroes. I've spent a fair whack on Fire Emblem. and a little bit of Record Keeper. I haven't spent anything on Mobius just yet, and I hope not to. My point being is that I'm hoping from this point onwards to really just mitigate all of that and to try and help other people from doing the same thing, because it's dangerous. It can really affect you. I'm gonna, as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna leave links in the description box to the post that inspired me to make this video and to, you know, produce videos in the future, because it really touched me, and inspired me to make my own Reddit post, which got an amazing response, and I'll also leave a link to that in the description box. So I would encourage you to go and read those again. Also, just support the community for that game. Like, don't see it as a bragging right. You know, it help people. It's so much more beneficial to you and to others if you just go out and help people. Some of the YouTubers I follow for it, like Clake and Evil Laughter 01, fantastic. They do a brilliant job of what they do, and I would really encourage you to go and watch those guys as well. I'm hoping that I can, if one of those guys sees this, that I'm hoping that they'll understand that they've inspired me as well, and that I want to kind of be like a beacon in the same way that they are, because I think that it's such a wonderful thing to be. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I can assure you this wasn't the easiest video for me to make, because as I said, it's very difficult, but I'm throwing this out there now. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see this video, or you want to see more, if you want to learn more about me, or if you want to watch stuff about Final Fantasy TCG. Dissidia is a big thing that I'm doing in the future, and Brave Exvius is soon to follow, so thank you very much. If you want to watch any of those, then definitely subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks again. Bye.